Kelly, I've got to tell you something.
What?
I have superpowers. I'm not on drugs.
But I am. So how do I know you're telling the truth?
All right. That's fair. Try to hit me. Try to hit me.
Try to hit you. Try to hit
right
you.
here.
Right
Come
there.
on.
Okay.
Come on.
You know what?
Hello, this is JustaShow, and today's sponsor is Deadpool. He can't be here right now because he's killing pirate time lords of space. But we're here to talk about one of his powers, specifically teleporting. Now the question that I ask myself, is teleporting movement? And it seems like a simple thing at first. Of course it's movement. You're moving from point A to point B. You're just doing it really quickly, but it becomes a different matter whenever you think about it, because every other form of transportation has been an improvement, but they all have one thing in common. It's always been traversing physical space. First you started with the process of walking, then we domesticated animals such as horses, then it moved to automobiles, then to jet cars, then to airplanes. Now we have bullet trains and magnet trains and jets and all kinds of stuff that moves even faster than that. But it all travels through physical space. For me to get here to this soda can, I have to travel the space in between it. Whenever you're talking about teleportation, you're talking about something that happens outside the physical space, where I don't have to cross the gap here. I'm just there. So the question of whether or not it's movement, we have to look at the definition of movement. Movement has two different definitions, the first of which, movement, the process, act, or result of moving, or two, a particular manner or style of moving. And then the definition of just to move by itself is to go in a specified direction or manner. Now this presents a few problems. Assuming you could teleport and have control over it, you would be traveling in a specific direction. However, we define traveling as moving through the physical space. So, to say that you're actually moving may be incorrect. Now, thinking geographically, I would say yes, because a physical state of matter has moved from one exact position to another. You've started out here and you've ended up here. If we were to plot it on a map, you would say that you've moved, but that would sort of assume that you've moved in between the space there. Mathematically, it's really complicated to look at and to think about, because there's a zero change in acceleration. It's not gaining speed and it's not losing speed, and it's a zero change in velocity, which is speed in a specific direction. Although it is a change in position, which I think mathematically is something that's impossible, which is why teleportation is defined as the theoretical transfer of matter or energy from one point to another without traversing the physical space. So I guess after we review all of the evidence that it really wouldn't be defined as movement, we would have to think of a different word. We would probably just use teleporting. And it's just weird because we can only really conceptualize it. We haven't figured out a way to travel through physical space, because physical space is really the only thing that we know. However, there is something that is like teleporting, and it's a quantum phenomenon known as quantum entanglement, which its definition is a little bulky, but here it is. A quantum entanglement, a quantum mechanical phenomenon in which the quantum states of two or more objects have to be described with reference to each other, even though the individual objects may be spatially separated. What that means is if you have two particles and you have them quantum entangled. Not physically entangled, but entangled on the quantum level. You can separate these two particles, and even if you put them on opposite edges of the universe, they would still display the same characteristics. Like it said, it has to be described in reference to the other. If one particle over here moves to the left, this one also moves to the left. And they've theorized that they may be able to use this for instantaneous communication. Whenever you use the internet or make a phone call, that signal has to travel from your phone up to the satellites in space, which redirect it back down to another person's phone, which is just amazing that that can even happen anyways. But using quantum entanglement to send information, it's not even really sending information. It's an instantaneous communication of that information. Since it happens in an instant, it would be a hard concept to grasp, because no matter how fast you move, no matter how quickly you do something, there's always time that passes in between there. And since it's a zero change, if a person were to instantaneously transport, it would almost be like making a copy of them. Because you would be traveling from 2 points, and you would cease to exist at one point and appear at another point, but with a zero change in time. So you would be here and there in the same second, in the same stretch of time, no matter how small or big you made it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the discussion, and let me know what you think about it in comments below. Kelly, I've got something to tell you.
Damn it! Sorry.
Kelly, I've got to tell you something.
What?
I have superpowers. I'm not on drugs.
But I am. So how do I know? You're telling
Okay,
the truth.
come on. Try to hit me. Try to hit me. Try to hit me. Quit being a wimp. Try to hit me. I don't know if we'll be able to use that. All right, go ahead.